The news keeps on breaking. We have to talk about so many news items today.
Oh, we have on camera Reggie Fils-Aimé!
Obi-Wan plays.
That's right. What's up? All right.
Obi-Wan plays.
What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? What's up to everybody coming into the chat? We have we have some surprisingly shocking news today. Oh my goodness, the news that is flooding the internet has me, I don't even worried. It's not. We got some bad news to talk about, but it isn't killing the hype. The Switch 2 is still going to be a dope system, but we have some things to talk about. We got good and bad news, all right? So it's not all bad. But what's up to everybody coming into the chat? Go ahead, Brielle.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Make sure to like and subscribe. All right. First in the chat is ASAP, because I post to the sponsors when I'm going live. ASAP, Murr, Pyro, Mahomes, Daniel, We Happy, NWO, Mustaf, Chariot, and Lake Show, and Dion rounds out the top scrolling for the chat. And we will be giving away a Switch 2 console with Mario Kart World included and a 512 gigabyte micro SD express card. Shout out to Murr, the second one in the chat, who is sponsoring this giveaway. It's going to be big. It's going to be epic. We are at 7 likes. Y'all came into the stream but didn't give it a thumbs up. I need y'all to like the stream as we go into the news today. Let's start off the rip. Let's just get 20 likes real quick. Bro, so many news items. I don't know where to begin. But I'm going to begin with Bill Trinen. He sat down for an interview talking specifically about the Switch 2, and he dropped some bombs. There are some bombs being dropped by Trinen. So let's check it out. We're going to go over the interview. I'm going to share my thoughts. This is coming from IGN. I'm over the cold now, but I still have a lingering cough. It is what it is. Let's get it. IGN, our big Nintendo Switch 2 interview with Nintendo of America's Bill Trinen on price, mouse, and a lot more. Let's get into it. And this interview was conducted before the delaying of the Switch 2 pre-orders in the US. Now, there is a shining light. There's some good news and some bad news with the situation with the tariffs and the pre-orders, which we're going to get into later on. But, whoo, hey, Mario Kart World going to be worth it. Matter of fact, raise the price. Let them know ASAP. Hey, Mario Kart World is going to be crazy good. And we're having a special Nintendo Direct for Mario Kart World on the 17th. That's going to be dope. That's going to be epic. Chris says we will be okay. We going to be all right. All right. Nintendo has finally pulled back the curtain on the Switch 2, revealing the company's vision for its next-gen console and games. But overshadowing discussion around the Switch, what the Switch 2 is capable of, the new gameplay mechanics in Mario Kart World, and OG Switch games that will find a new lease of life on the Switch 2, is a backlash to Nintendo's pricing strategy. We sat down with Nintendo of America's Vice President of Product and Player Experience, Bill Trinen, to talk about the big first-party reveals. Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Those two games, Nintendo's hitting us with back-to-back big games first month, and then second month, it's going to be epic. And then we're going to have third party to just keep going. It's going to be such good. All right. The strategy behind pricing Switch 2 at $450 and Mario Kart at $80. The decision to release Switch 2 Welcome Toy as a paid digital product that is controversial, rather than a packing game. His excitement for Metro Prime 4 Beyond's mouse controls, and Masahiro Sakurai's return to the Kirby franchise. One question mark for me was Kirby Riders coming out the same year as Mario Kart. But we're going to get into all of it. All right. Plus, does Bill know what Switch 2 cartridges taste like? All right. Here we go. IGN. Congrats on finally unveiling Nintendo Switch 2. How does it feel to finally have it out there? This is Bill Trinan. Well, it's just exciting to be able to get all the details out there. For us, the most important thing is that we really want people to recognize and understand that Nintendo Switch 2 is the true successor to Nintendo Switch. Takes what you love about Nintendo Switch and then builds on it with a whole lot of new features and new capabilities and new games that take advantage of those, and really takes what was evolving gaming with Nintendo into something that's a lot more social through things like game chat, which takes what was the anytime anywhere play of Nintendo Switch and makes it more altogether anytime anywhere. Real quick, Panthorius with the $5 super chat. I need everybody to spam Panthorius. My guy, how you been, bro? Let me read your super chat. Hope you and the fam are feeling good. Get well soon. Just need some vitamin C and Switch 2 to heal. Vitamin C and Switch 2. The ultimate combination. Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be epic and wild. Yes. Yes. Panthorius. Yes. Thanks for the super chat. OCD's typing Pan, Gina Pan, Chris Pan, Dion Panthorius, No Sag Pan. Show my guy Panthorius some love. We're at 32 likes. 8 people give the stream a thumbs up. Let's crush 40 likes right now, bro. One thing he said that was very important in this very first segment of this interview is the most important thing is that we really want people to recognize and understand that the Switch 2 is the true successor to the Switch. They want to make it clear that this isn't a bro, riding up that Triceratops was so epic. And I want to see what happens when you go down the mouth of that T-Rex. It makes it seem like that you get what happens when that T-Rex eats you on Dino Land. That's going to be crazy. But focus. They don't want what happened between the Wii and Wii U. What happened? Michael says Panthorius, Chariot Man says Pan. Everybody thought the Wii U was just an accessory to the Wii. But so they made it clear. And the biggest thing, the best thing they could have done was the naming of the system and just putting a 2 behind it. Switch 2. And so everybody understands numerical order, and they know this is the next thing. This is not the Switch, it's the Switch 2. We're in the iPhone generation where everything is numbered, and so that's clear. There is no confusion. That's one thing of discussion. When the Wii U was announced, big controversy was, is this a new system? Is this a peripheral? With Mahomes, I'm going to give you a shout out in a second, but with the Switch 2, that hasn't been the issue. Pricing has been the issue, but whether it's the same system is clear. Mahomes with the $5 super chat, taking notes from ASAP. I'm winning that Switch 2, OB says Mahomes. All right, your name will be in the hat. This one we're going to pull from a hat for this one, so I hope you win it. I hope, I wish I could give a Switch 2 to everybody, but those tariffs. Mahomes. I need everybody to type Mahomes. Type Mahomes in the chat. Show my guy Mahomes some love. Thanks, bro. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the super chat. So we show my guy some love. Appreciate it. Panthorius is typing Mahomes. O City type Mahomes. Show my guy type Mahomes in the chat, guys. All right. Anthony type Mahomes. All right. Here we go. IGN. So you just mentioned game chat. That was a huge part of your presentation yesterday. Why was now the time to finally introduce Nintendo voice chat, which is something that people have wanted on your console for a really long time? I tell you, one of the best features, I really like that game chat implementation with the camera. It looks dope. I'm glad Nintendo stepping their game up. All right, training. Well, I would say we've always looked at it from the perspective of what is Nintendo's real strength and what are Nintendo's real values. And for us, the most important thing is putting smiles on people's faces and doing it in a way that people can see and experience the smiles that they have with the people that are most important to them. And certainly, there have been other game systems with chat and things like that up until now. But what we wanted to do is to take something that could finally replicate the same room, couch multiplayer, couch co-op experience and joy, and bring that into an online space. And for us, game chat is why it's so important. So important is the combination of being able to see their faces, being able to see what they're doing from a gameplay perspective, and being able to feel like you finally got a virtual space where you can have those same experiences that you might have in your living room. So that's why with the power of, I would say, Switch 2, being able to finally execute that has been a big focus for us. And I tell you, I like the implementation of game chat. I like the fact with the camera, and you can see the gameplay of what your friends are playing. It's almost like a couch co-op experience, but everyone is online in their own room. So I really like that. I think it's dope. And of course, the frames on the your friend's gameplay is much lower, and it still makes sure that your gameplay is still smooth and crisp. And so I think they implemented it very well, and it looks dope. Definitely going to be using that with the sponsors. If sponsors get a camera, if you don't have a camera, we're still going to be game chatting. We're going to be chatting in Discord. We're still going to be having fun. But I think that's a dope implementation. Speaking of sponsors, you want to join a dope gaming community, get on my Switch friend list. The link's in the description below. All right, let's keep going. We're at 40 likes. 10 people give the stream a thumbs up. Let's get it to 50 likes right now. 50. IGN. Cool. And we always knew if you did voice chat that it would be in the most Nintendo way. And just with the camera and the mic on the unit in the dock, and you say, oh, don't worry, the background noise won't get it. It was a cool presentation. Yeah, that was cool how they presented it. Training. Good. That's the nice thing. That's the nice thing is with the built-in microphone typo on their end. It's like, yeah, you can just voice chat if you want, and you can do that probably as well. IGN. Well, let's talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza. Hey, that Donkey Kong Bonanza looked so good. Day one buy, easy peasy. I'm telling you, I'm still 50-50 on that. I'm going to keep it a buck. On the wheelchair game, I might get it. I might end up getting it. But Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Kart is a day one easy. Day one. I mean, Mario Kart World, those are day one lock-ins. So Street Fighter 6, day one, locked in. There's certain games I'm just going to get off the rip. All right. The game is trash. Panthorius became a member of the OGC. Somebody type Panthorius in the chat. Show him some love. Panthorius, link your YouTube to your Discord and hop into our Discord chat, and I'll add you on my friend list on the Switch if we're not already friends. So welcome, Panthorius. Thanks. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support, my guy. All right. IGN. Well, let's talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza. I love the title, by the way. It's perfect. Yeah, Bonanza is such a perfect title. Although last night when I was scrambling to type my preview, it auto-corrected to Bonanza every time. And I was like, I've got to add this to my dictionary. But I love the name, and it's so exciting to see DK back in the spotlight after so long. And I noticed so many things just getting my hands on the controller for the first time. So when you guys got the game in at Nintendo of America, what stuck out to you the most? What was your favorite part about working on it from a localization perspective or anything else? Trinin. Well, so I'll start with a really terrible joke, which is I like to call this The most groundbreaking game in video gaming history. You get it? Groundbreaking. He's breaking the ground. Good one, Trennan. All right, IGN laughs in parentheses. I used that in my preview today. I said you have to break all the ground you can because you might make a groundbreaking discovery. Ha ha ha. Trennan laughs. All right, a little corny. That's right. So for us, the number one thing that I think is probably just the most satisfying about this game is just DK the character. He's back. He's back in a big way. We haven't had DK in a platformer, 3D platformer since the Nintendo 64, which is crazy. Bro, if this game starts off with some kind of DK rap, that's going to be crazy. L, what's up, bruh? And DK is a character within the pantheon of Nintendo characters who has always been a bit on the more powerful side, wild at times, silly. And all of that has just been thoroughly baked into this game. And as the character DK, you're able to use the power of his punches, and you might attack an enemy in the environment, and that enemy goes flying and hits a wall, and the wall crumbles, and you see something there. And that then entices you to go in and start digging through the terrain to see what else you can find. And it just creates the incredibly rewarding cycle of destruction and discovery that is woven all throughout the game. Yeah, this game is going to be super creative in what you can do and how the environment is just so interactive. I can't wait to play this, man. And we don't have that much long to wait if there's no delay on the actual console. I really don't think the console is going to be delayed, but Nintendo, within the next 2 weeks, they got to announce something with the pre-orders in the US, bro. They got to announce something, bro. What's up, everybody? We're at 43 likes. 7 people give the stream a thumbs up. Let's crush 50 likes. All right. IGN, the discovery via destruction was a really cool cornerstone of this game from my time with it. I thought that was just really great. And the second that I started playing it, I just felt the DNA of Super Mario Odyssey and Mr. Koizumi's team all over this in so many ways. Are they the ones that are working on this? Trennan, it's a very good question. You'll have to stay tuned. They're not spilling the beans. We always like to start by showcasing the game and getting people focused on the gameplay, but we'll have some information to share about the developer in due time. All right, so this one is to be hyped on the gameplay, but it does seem like this is one of Nintendo's big boys who made this game. IGN, okay, can you tell me, is this internally developed? Because there hasn't been an internal Donkey Kong game since I believe Jungle Beat was the last one. Trennan, Jungle Beat was the last one. IGN, you had the NST do the Mario vs. Donkey Kongs, but Trennan, NST has done the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games, but this is going to be a fun one. So nothing more on that. Nothing more on that. Nintendo be tight-lipped, bro, about who develops their games. All right, IGN. Okay, I had to try. Let's talk about Mario Kart World. This is going to be a big system seller because there's so much great stuff in there. But I think the cow is what's stealing everybody's heart. Yeah, I was not expecting the cow from Moo Moo Meadows, bro. They went way left field, literally left field, into getting these characters. Get it? The cow left field. All right. Did you expect that reaction? There's Akira memes about the cow. It's hilarious out there. Did you know the cow was going to be a big star? Trennan, I would say perhaps not as big as the cow has become. Internally, certainly the very first moment we saw the cow, everybody wanted to play as cow. IGN, when we were playing Knockout Tour yesterday, there were just like 7 cows on the track. Trennan, well, that's the other thing that I just love about Mario Kart World is the interconnected world of tracks. As I'm driving, you'll start something like Knockout Tour and you'll be driving across the continent. And what used to be the Mario Kart model was there's the street tracks and you race on the discrete track and then you choose a different track and you race on a different discrete track. And now what I find is I'm driving through, I'm starting in a new track and driving across the terrain, and oh, I just happen to pass through Moo Moo Meadows, and now I'm on the next thing. And it's just like for somebody that's grown up playing Mario Kart for so many years, just to be able to have that experience and piece it all together mentally into this massive continent of racing has been a whole lot of fun for me. I think that's dope, man. The interconnectedness of the tracks, that when you finish one race, you're actually racing to the next race. So that is dope. They really, really, really found a way to up one off of Mario Kart 8, because Mario Kart 8, the best Mario Kart hands down. Mario Kart 8, Super Mario Kart, Super Nintendo, Mario Kart Double Dash, top 3 before this one. It looks like Mario Kart World is going to be the best Mario Kart ever, bro. It just looks like it. Just the graphics, you know, the gameplay is already going to be solid. And we have so much more that I feel they're going to be revealing at this Direct. There's going to be some kind of adventure mode, I have a feeling, based on the tease that they had at Treehouse. All right. IGN. It feels like a theme park of Mario Kart history, and I'm driving yesterday and going through all the different segments, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm in the geyser tunnel from Dino Dino Jungle and from Double Dash. But I'm wondering, so right now it seems like the races, you start at one track and end up at another, and then the final lap is one loop around the final circuit you end up at. Not in the knockout tour, that's different. But is there a time trial or versus mode that's a way to just do 3 laps at this track? Or are you always driving interconnected between them when you're racing? Trenton, you will have abilities to drive 3 laps on certain tracks. Obviously, we've got a Nintendo Direct dedicated to Mario Kart World coming on the 17th. That's going to be epic. I think you'll see a lot more on the game there. And I think a lot more that will hopefully surprise you and make you feel like, wow, there's a lot to this game. Y'all hear that? There's a lot more to this game that Nintendo hasn't shown us yet. And we are here for it. What's up to everybody coming into the chat? We are at 53 likes. I need 7 more people. Give the stream a thumbs up. Let's get it to 60 likes right now. All right, IGN's next question. That will be really good to see, because right now, oh, they're going to get into the meat and potatoes. Here we go. It looks great. It plays great. But I think the talk of the town is the price tag. This is an $80 game from Nintendo in the US and $50 if you buy the Nintendo Switch 2 bundle. I think they're just pushing the bundle, because most people are just going to buy the bundle because everybody's going to get Mario Kart anyway. All right. But I saw somewhere on your website that the bundle is only available for a limited time while supplies last. Can you just talk about the strategy behind pricing Mario Kart World this way? I'm interested to see what he's about to say. Well, I would say it's less about the strategy of pricing Mario Kart World. It's more just whenever we look at a given game, we just look at what is the experience and what's the content and what's the value. Mario Kart World, I think, especially as you see from the Nintendo Direct, not to give you any hints or anything, but I did read your article this morning, and I think you had mentioned that you didn't find a lot to discover when roaming around. So I would say tune into our Mario Kart Direct to see what maybe you'll be able to find out about that. But honestly, this is a game that is so big and so vast, and you will find so many little things in it to discover, and there's still some other secrets remaining that I think as people end up buying and playing the game, they're going to find that this is probably the richest Mario Kart experience they've ever had. And so he's pretty much saying the reason why it's $80 is because they believe in the content, that's in the game and the value of the game. We already saw the world map. That world map looks huge. And so I can't wait to see everything that they reveal. And if they have DLC and add more parts to the world, like they did with Mario Kart 8, more tracks, you will probably understand why it's an $80 game. And that's what I've heard a lot of people say too. Like, yeah, it's $80, but when you think about what they did with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and how they continue to just add content, DLC, and the amount of tracks that and the fact that that's a game that people were still playing for the entire duration of the Switch console. You're going to get hundreds, probably thousands of hours out of this game. And so the $80 proposition, Nintendo saying it's going to make sense as you see what we're going to offer you. All right. All right, here it goes. IGN. Okay. And to just stay on pricing for a little bit here, I'm looking at the Nintendo Switch 2 editions of games. Some games are $70. Some are $80. Some. I thought only Mario Kart was $80. There are more games than Mario Kart that's $80? Huh. Yo, what's up, Showing Off? I see you, bro. That's what everybody's going to be buying it. That's what
Mario Kart, yes. But no. Other games.
We'll see. That's what it's looking like right now. And some are cheaper than that too. I don't think we know the US price for the Welcome Tour yet. We're going to talk about that. But I think we saw the Japanese price is around $10. Trending. Yeah. The US price is $9.99 for the Welcome Tour. All right, so here we are, guys. The Welcome Tour is $10 because there were people talking about it being $6. That's where misinformation comes out. Kirby is $80?
No.
Whoa, I didn't realize that.
Josh is not getting it.
That's crazy, Late Show.
And it just shows Kirby.
Yeah, perfect timing. Didn't know that. But if you already have the Switch 1 game, how much the upgrade is just $10. Michael Harrison with the $3 donation. Appreciate that, because there is a link in the description where you could just do a straight donation. And your boy does get I get less of the percentage with the super chats, but either way, I do the super chats or the live donation. Michael, no, that's not Michael. That's Michelle, or Michaela, however you say it. Let's show Michaela some love. I hope I said that right. Michaela. Somebody type Michaela in the chat. For showing some love with live donation. Type Michaela in the chat. Appreciate it, Michaela. All right. All right, let's keep going. I didn't get the notification through my stream yet, but it still comes through. Appreciate it, Michaela. All right. So, I didn't realize Kirby was $80, bro. Kirby is $80? Now, how's Kirby 80 and Donkey Kong Bonanza 70? Nintendo got to explain their pricing reasoning, bro. Because just looking at those two games, you can see Bonanza.
The Show says the upgrade is $20. $100.
No. The upgrade is $20 to make it $80 because the original is $60. The upgrade is $80, but it does add more content. To be fair, there's more chapter and more actual gaming content to the game. So I give them that.
But still, Donkey Kong Bonanza at 70?
I might end up getting it too. So we'll see. When does the new content for Kirby come out? Is it launch day? Switch console launch day?
Maybe.
If it is, I might pick it up. I might still get it. Because we're gonna be playing those games, bro. We will be playing them. All right. And there's still some. All right, so you're talking about Mario Kart. All right, I just asked him about the pricing. But real quick, that Nintendo Welcome Tour game is $10. That high key, not even low key, high key, should have been a packed in title, bro. That should have been a packed in free game. I'm copying $10 upgrade. Yeah. We're gonna be gaming. We're going to be getting them Nintendo games, bro. Shout out to everybody who coming into the stream. We're at 65 likes. I need 15 people. Give the stream a thumbs up. Let's crush 80 likes right now. Do it. Do it. Do it. Also, Astro Playroom was free. Yeah, it was. I know that. I'm getting every upgrade. Yeah. We're going to be getting those upgrades, bro. We are going to be supporting that Nintendo content. All right. The US price is $10. $10, okay, and it's digital only. Trinan says yes. Here's IGN. I'm just wondering about the strategy behind pricing these Nintendo Switch 2 editions at the combination of the Switch 1 retail price, usually $60, and then whatever the upgrade path is, like $10 for Breath of the Wild, making that a $70 game, or Tears of the Kingdom is an $80 game. What? Because it's $70 plus the $10 upgrade. Bro, hold on. Let me see ASAP with the $10 super chat. Y'all show my guy ASAP some love. Let me see what ASAP is saying. Man, I can't stop watching gameplay of Switch 2. Need it ASAP. But bro, Nintendo should bundle all the Switch 2 editions in NSO. Yeah, facts. They should. They should. They should. They should. They should incentivize subscribing. I feel you. Yeah, they should. They should incentivize subscribing. I need the chat to go crazy. Show my guy ASAP some love with the $10 super chat. Marcus, type ASAP. Dion, Lake Show, No Sag, O City. Everybody is going crazy typing ASAP in the chat. Panthorius with the $5 super chat. People are getting the demo price confused because it's 990 yen, which comes to 669 USD. So there's where the misinformation confusion come on. Thanks for the clarification, Panthorius, for the clarification. Panthorius. I need somebody to type Panthorius in the chat. Somebody to spam Panthorius. I need somebody to type Panthorius. Show my guys some love for showing the channel some love. Street Fighter 6 is going to be epic. We're going to have a Street Fighter 6 launch week tournament on the Switch 2 for the sponsors. Shout out to Panthorius. Panthorius, make sure you link your YouTube to your Discord. Hop into our Discord, bro. Appreciate it, Panthorius. O City, type Panthorius. Dion Panthorius. No Sag Pan. Marcus Panthorius. Panthorius, ASAP, Evo Hodis Panthorius. Everybody showing everybody some love. Bro, so that's where that $6 misinformation came in through. Lake Show with the $2 super chat. If Switch is 700, I'm getting it. Are you? Big facts, big facts. Lake Show. Now, if that thing is $700, it's gonna, those sales are gonna hurt. I ain't gonna say it's gonna struggle, but it will affect the sales if that thing is $700. So we're gonna see how these tariffs, these Trump tariffs are. There is a shining light with the tariffs though. Heavy negotiations are in place, and it looks like Vietnam, they're coming to an agreement of a 0% tariff, which is where Nintendo's mass producing the systems right now. I need somebody to spam Lake Show in the chat. Show my guy Lake Show some love too, bro. Everybody, we show love to everybody, bro. Appreciate it, Lake Show. Appreciate everybody supporting, coming through. We got a lot of news to talk about. L type Lake Show, No Sag, Lake Show, Marcus, Lake Show, O City, Lake Show, show my guy Lake Show some love. Gina said if it's 700, I might just forget it. Hey, it's going to be a tough sell. I don't think they're going to do that though. Dion, Lake Show, Daniel, Lake Show, Evil Hodis, Lake Show, Jinasku, Lake Show. Everybody showing Lake Show some love. All right, let's keep on going. Bro, Tears of the Kingdom is $80 for the Switch 2 game if you didn't buy the Switch 1 version. But at the end of the day, we're still going to be spending, that's facts, we're still going to end up spending $80 for Tears of the Kingdom. Because the Switch, I just realized that. The Switch 1 game was $70 plus $10 for the upgrade. Wow, Mario Kart is not the only $80 game. All right. IGN is asking, can you just walk me through the strategy behind not offering any sort of discount for newcomers on Switch 2 and saying Tears of the Kingdom is $80 now, just like Mario Kart is? Trenin, this is what he says. Well, again, what I would say is that we just look at each individual game and we look at the content and the value of the game. Now, let me stop right here. He has a point. Tears of the Kingdom, the value of that game is crazy, bro. To have a whole Sky region, a whole Hyrule region, and then a whole complete underground region that's just as big as Hyrule, that game is massive. ASAP with another $10 super chat. Bruh, ASAP. I'm still copping it at $700. Plus, it'll probably be easier to get pre-ordered. Raise the price. ASAP! That's the funniest comment of the chat. Hey, facts, if they put it to $700, better for me, boy. Easier for me to get a Switch 2. ASAP's like, I don't care about y'all. I care about me getting the system. He said, raise the price. Hey. I might tweet that out. That's funny. That is funny. Hey, but I need somebody to real talk. Type ASAP in the chat. Show my guy ASAP some love. Hey, this interview is crazy though. Show my MG plays. Just type ASAP. Obi-Wan plays. Type ASAP. I need y'all to type ASAP. No Sag, type ASAP. Show my guy ASAP some love. El said ASAP a fool. Hey, that's a golden comment, ASAP.
Wait, what?
But when you think about it, like Bill Tritten is saying, they're considering the value of their games. Tears of the Kingdom, who can argue the amount of content that's in that game? So the $80, that's why they say it's $80.
Boy.
And when you say what is the right price or the value of entertainment, what I would probably counter to some of that is that really what you're looking at is for the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. That's the physical price for somebody that has not bought the base game. What do you want?
Wait, do the password.
What do you need?
Something I needed.
Okay, all right. For somebody who has bought Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, the upgrade packs for those are $9.99. And if you happen to be a Nintendo Switch Plus Online member, both of the Zelda upgrade packs are inclusive with the membership. And so it's free. I got to reiterate that. The upgrades for Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Breath of the Wild are both free if you're subscribed to the Switch Online Plus expansion pack, which that's a good value. But I think all the Switch 2 upgrades should be included if you have the expansion pack. All the Switch 1 upgrades should be included. All right. So there's no additional charge for those. But I think overall, our general approach is really just focus on what's the content, what's the value, and what's an appropriate price based on that. IGN, okay, thanks. And then the pricing of the console itself too. A lot of people are talking about it. $450 in the US. We're at 78 likes, 12 people. 12 people give the stream a thumbs up. Let's crush 90 likes. Let's do it. Obi-Wan plays kids, my son. My kid, Samuel just typed raise the price. They're like, we want to switch too, bro. All right. 450 in the US, and we know there are definitely global economic factors at play. Can you share anything behind the strategy for pricing of the console? Was this something that was up to the wire where you didn't know what it was going to cost until recently? Can you share any insight?
Nope.
He's about to talk about the price of the system.
Oh no.
Can't really share insight into any of that. Obviously, the cost of everything goes up over time. And I personally would love if the cost of things didn't go up over time. But I think anytime we're building a new system that's got new features and new tech, there's costs associated with that. So again, we look at what is the experience on Nintendo Switch. What's the experience on Switch 2? What are the new features it offers? And certainly, what's the cost of goods and things that factor into that? But we try to find the right appropriate price for the product based on that. All right. IGN. This is a beefy, a lot of information. Last question on price, I promise. Lake Show with the $2 super chat. Raise the price. Make it easy for me. LOL. I feel you, Lake Show. I feel you, Lake Show. I feel you, Lake Show. I need somebody to spam Lake Show in the chat. We got GameCube games on day one. Bruh, we're going to be racing F-Zero with the sponsors. We're going to be playing Soul Calibur. We're going to even put some heads on Wind Waker. What else? Wasn't there 4 games or just those 3? GameCube games. I feel like there was one more. But, Bowsette type Lake Show. ASAP type Lake Show. Anthony Lake Show. No Sash Lake Show. Dark Lake Show. MG Lake Show. Daniel. Dion Lake Show. Mario Strikers is going to be at launch? I know it was there, but I didn't realize it would be at launch. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, let's keep it going. Last question on price, I promise. I played Welcome Tour on the show floor, and I walked away and thought, this is a perfect pack-in game. I tell y'all, if Reggie Fils-Aimé was still at Nintendo, that game would have been a pack-in game. Because on the Wii, Nintendo didn't want to pack in Wii Sports. It was Reggie that pushed them and said, nah, this would be a perfect pack-in game. And because of Reggie, Wii Sports was a pack-in game, and we know what happened. So, Murr with the $2 super chat. Let me get mine cheap, then raise the price. I feel you, Murr. Murr. I need somebody to type Murr in the chat. Again, Murr is going to be sponsoring our second console giveaway. ASAP won the first one. Shout out to Kaleem, my guy Kaleem. But for the second console, we're giving away a Switch 2 console, Mario Kart World bundle with it, and a 512 gigabyte micro SD Express card. Great value proposition. All you have to make sure is you're subscribed to the channel. Subscribe to the channel for that giveaway. It's going to be epic. It's going to be big. Yes, sir. Thanks, Kaleem and Obi. Yeah, ASAP. He won the first giveaway. And I'm going to sign ASAP's. And whoever wins the second one, if they want me to sign theirs, I'll sign it too before we mail it to you. All right. It shows what the console is. Talking about the Welcome Tour and why it should be a pack-in. It shows HDR. It shows these new technologies Nintendo is embracing, in some cases for the first time. And I feel like it's a great showcase for the console. Was there ever any talk of making this a pack-in game? And why did you make the decision to price it as a separate digital product? Trenin, it's an interesting product. We're actually getting ready today. We're going to be doing some Nintendo Treehouse live segments, because this interview was already recorded, and cover a lot of games in detail. That's one of them. And I think people will be able to see through Treehouse Live probably a little bit more maybe than you were able to see on the show floor. It's a pretty robust piece of software. Interesting. Yes,
I
Brielle.
want bacon.
It's on the counter. It's on the counter. Just go
I'm
grab
not
some.
eating that.
Okay. All right. Go tell mommy. Go tell mommy. All right. There's a lot of great detail in there. For some people, I think there are people who are particularly interested in the tech and the specs of the system and things like that. For them, I think it's going to be a great product. It's really for people that want more information about the system rather than necessarily a quick intro to everything it does. And for that reason, and just the amount of care and work that the team put into it, I think it was decided that, yeah, this feels like $9.99 is not an exorbitant price. It feels a good value for what you're getting out of the product. All right. IGN. Okay. I want to talk about some of the features of the Joy-Con 2. Now, because I was really impressed with the mouse functionality. That's facts. That mouse functionality is dope, but I'm torn now. Because I already know my primary way of playing on the Switch 2 will be with the Pro Controller. That Pro Controller looks so good, bruh. And motion aiming has already been confirmed. Gyroscope has already been confirmed. And so that gyroscope accuracy is crazy, bruh. Now, if they add, I can't wait. You know they're coming with the Splatoon 3 Switch 2 edition. If they add mouse functionality and that mouse functionality is even more accurate, we might become Joy-Con boys. Straight Joy-Con boys. But we'll have to wait and see. We really have to wait and see how the mouse functionality is implemented in the different games. But I'm still going to try it out, but I just know we're going to go back to that Pro Controller, bro. What's up to everybody? We are 3 likes away from 90 likes. Let's get it, man. 3 people give the stream a thumbs up. I thought that it worked really well, talking about the mouse functionality, really well in something like Metroid Prime 4. I can see that being the preferred way for a lot of people to play that game. So what are your expectations for mouse controls? Are you hoping that third-party developers make great use of them? Do you think it can bring new types of games? Just talk to me about your feelings about the mouse. Bro, just imagine Call of Duty is anticipated to be coming out this year on the Switch 2. Imagine mouse aiming Call of Duty on the Switch. That's going to be crazy, huh?
Has the bacon already been there?
What?
Is the bacon cool?
Go tell mommy. Go ask mommy. All right. All right. Trenton says, well, personally, I'm really excited about the mouse controls. I don't know what your experience with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was. The way that, to me, is probably my favorite way to play is like I like to play split Joy-Con. I just like the freedom of having my hands not locked onto a controller like that. Split Joy-Cons is pretty dope. I do that a lot in handheld, in tabletop mode. So I often like to play split Joy-Con and having the freedom to just seamlessly drop the mouse down for combat and then pick it back up for split Joy-Con. To me, is something, number one, you can't do with any other console. You can't do on PC. And it makes for a really great experience for the Prime series, particularly because the Prime series is the creator of the first-person adventure genre. And so in a series where you're doing a lot of exploration, that's got some combat mixed in with it. That freedom feels right, because for me, I feel like if I'm doing a lot of exploration, I want to be split Joy-Con. That flexibility to me is amazing. I think the other thing probably I'm hoping people are catching on to is that, yes, the Joy-Con 2 introduced mouse control, but they introduced mouse control in conjunction with other technology within the Joy-Con. So whereas with a PC mouse, you're moving up and down and side to side and whatnot, with the Joy-Con, you've got the added ability to apply things like the angle that you're twisting the Joy-Con at. That's true. And having that also impact the play control with the mouse. That is interesting. All right. Or you've got two Joy-Cons that have mouse control each. And that means two things. It means either you can have immediate two-player mouse control gameplay right out of the box with the Switch 2, or it means, as you see with Drag and Drive, that you can do things with dual Joy-Con control, which hasn't been done before. And so my hope is really threefold. One is that our own development teams continue to experiment what they can do with the mouse to create creative new ways to use it. I hope that we start to see third parties that are then looking at opportunities with things like dual mouse control or a combination of mouse plus motion control to evolve their gameplay. But I also do hope that when you look at PC developers, for example, if they want to bring a PC-based game to console, they have to spend a lot of time revamping the control scheme and adapting it to button controls. And so having the freedom of mouse control with the Joy-Con hopefully makes PC developers a lot more eager to want to bring their games to Switch 2. That's facts. It's going to be a lot easier for PC developers to port their games to the Switch 2. Lake Show says check DM. Let me check it, bro. Yeah. We're going to talk about Doug Bowser. We're going to talk about that, Lake Show. We got some things to talk about. This IGN is just the tip of the iceberg. And I thought there was some interesting tidbits that we had to go over. But trust me, we got some more. We're at 89 likes. 11 people give the stream a thumbs up. Let's crush 100 likes. 100 likes. You got to go on the other side, Brielle. All right. IGN. Well, my social team really wants to know. We don't have Switch 2 cartridges here. Do they taste like Switch 1 cartridges? Trinan laughs. I don't know yet. You haven't done a taste test? Asks IGN. Trinan. I have not done a taste test. I keep hoping for a pistachio flavor, but that's not happening. IGN laughs. I don't think that would turn any kids away. Okay, cool. Well, my last question here is that Kirby Air Riders was a huge surprise at the Nintendo Direct yesterday. Yeah, it was. I still feel like they should announce it's going to be delayed because it says late 2025. Delay that to 2026 or 2027. I don't think it should compete with Mario Kart this early, but who knows? All right. And to see that as this secret project that Mr. Masahiro Sakurai teased earlier this year after wrapping up his YouTube series, cool to see him come back to work with you guys again. Can you share any details further than the teaser we got in the Direct? Trinan. Well, I believe Mr. Sakurai has said that there will not be any additional information on the game for quite a while. It's interesting that game is still coming out this year and we just had a teaser trailer and no gameplay. The team's working very hard on it, but for me, this was probably one of the most exciting announcements for a couple of reasons. One, I'm always excited to see what Sakurai-san is working on. Two, he created the Kirby character and the Kirby franchise. And so it's great to see him come back to lead and direct a Kirby game again for the first time in a couple of decades. But I think more importantly, I've always felt that Kirby Air Ride on GameCube was a game that was ahead of its time and maybe not fully understood at the time it came out. And guess what? We have GameCube on the Switch. That means we'll probably get Kirby Air Ride, the original GameCube game, sometime this console generation. Whether or not it comes out before Kirby Air Riders, I doubt. But hey, I'm so hyped we got GameCube, bro. All right. And so I'm just really excited because there's a core group of people that played that game on GameCube that love it to death. And number one, I'm just happy because for them, this is such a big announcement and it's good to see their excitement. But at the same time, I think that with where we are in the game industry today, I think we've got a real opportunity to introduce a much bigger audience to Kirby Air Riders. That's facts. And I think people will finally really begin to appreciate just what I think is the genius of Masahiro Sakurai and what he created with that game. IGN. Well, I'm in that core group. It's like one of my big childhood games. I never played this game. I love Kirby Air Ride, City Trial Free Roam. That's all I was doing, so I'm very excited. But thanks so much, Bill. We're super excited for June 5th and everything else that's coming on the way. Trending. Great, thank you. All right, the last thing that he said is we're excited for June 5th. Dust Bloods, bro. We got a big AAA exclusive coming to the Switch. Exclusive to the Switch. But I like how the interview ended with that June 5th date. The June 5th date has not been changed. Pre-orders. I think we need some clarification on pre-orders. The reason why they've adjusted, I think the pricing will change. Whether it's going to go up or down, time is going to tell. But pre-orders, we need to get some information within the next 2 weeks. And I think it's going to happen within the next 2 weeks. All right, so that was just the first news item. We have another one. And this next one, oh man. It's official. Switch 2 Joy-Cons will not feature Hall effect sticks. So, for everyone that was hoping for Hall effect sticks, which would been a big countermeasure to Joy-Con drifting, will not be in the Switch 2 Joy-Cons. And that is a bit of a bummer, but here's the shining light. I fell on the floor. The shining light is the controllers have been designed from the ground up. We're just talking about Kirby Air Riders. There's the trailer. The controllers have been designed from the ground up. So that's great. That's dope. Letting us know that hopefully Nintendo's engineers figured out what was causing the Joy-Con drifts on the original Joy-Cons, and maybe they are able to still correct Joy-Con drifting without having Hall effect sticks. It would have been cool to have the Hall effect sticks, but hopefully Nintendo can figure out a way to prevent Joy-Con drifting. I've had a lot of Joy-Cons. I did have some with Joy-Con drifting that I had to actually send into Nintendo. But the ones I have right now, my OLED, haven't had no issues with drifting or whatnot. So hopefully that's a thing of the past, because Nintendo knows it's going to end up costing them money. They're going to have to repair those for free, potential lawsuits. And so it comes that there is no Joy-Con Hall effects. This comes from an interview with Nintendo of America's Nate Bildorf. And so this is coming from Nintendo Life, what they ask. Let's jump off the sensitivity stuff and then talk about the sticks of the Switch 2 Joy-Con, because it feels so different to the original sticks, analog sticks. So is it a Hall effect stick? Were you inspired by the Hall effect stick? And he answers, well, the Joy-Con 2's controllers have been designed from the ground up. And that's still good. They've been designed from the ground up. They're not Hall effect sticks, but they feel really good. Did you experience both the Joy-Con and the Pro Controller? Both. So I like both. But that Pro Controller, for some reason, the first time I grabbed it, I was like, this feels like a GameCube controller. Interesting. I was a GameCube guy. Something about it felt so familiar. But the stick on that especially, I tried to spend a lot of time making sure that it was quiet. I don't know if you tried really whacking the stick around, but it is really quiet. I'm thinking back to my Smash Brothers days where you just whack it. The Switch 2 Pro Controller is one of the quietest controllers I've ever played. That's an interesting tidbit. Didn't know that. So they're saying, based on their hands-on time of the Switch 2 Pro Controller, that it's extremely quiet. All right. We call it magnet style analogs. So it doesn't look like there's going to be Hall effects in the Switch 2 Joy-Cons, but the shining light is they have been redesigned from the ground up. So hopefully Nintendo has countered Joy-Con drifting, but I do like the fact that they're saying the Pro Controller is extremely quiet, and it just looks good, man. I'm definitely picking up this Pro Controller. All right, we do have another one. We got more Switch 2 news. And this one has me the most bummed of all the news today. We're beating the horse. Why? Nintendo has announced the Switch 2 will not have system-wide achievements. Wah, wah, wah. Now, I'm still going to be gaming on the Switch. It's still going to be the only console I'm gaming on. This would have been a cool icing on the cake type moment. But we're still going to be gaming, bruh. We're still going to be having fun, bruh. I wish we would have had achievements. It's not the end of the world. This is coming from Polygon.com, but multiple sources are reporting this. We're at 93 likes, y'all. 7 people. Let's get it to 100 likes. The Switch 2 won't be joining Xbox and PlayStation consoles with its own system-wide achievements. Nintendo confirmed to Polygon in a recent interview. When we asked Vice President of Player and Production Experience, Bill Trinan, if we can expect achievements, he gave a pretty clear answer. Nope. He just said nope. Just like on Switch 1, it'll be up to game developers to implement them in their own way. Ubisoft games, for example, have their own achievement system tied to Ubisoft Connect. When you earn them, they won't show up on your Switch profile, and that's not going to change with Switch 2. But even though a traditional achievement system won't exist, Nintendo is still experimenting with some achievement-like systems in the Switch 2 versions of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. It's almost like Nintendo's being different for no reason. Like, why go through all that trouble, develop them into an app just for 2 games? Both games will let you earn medals on the Switch phone app. When you do things like travel long distances or collect a large number of rubies, those will be tracked inside the Zelda notes for part of the app, and you'll be able to see how you compare against other players around the world. That's about as close as you're going to get to achievements on the Switch 2. Nintendo isn't going to reward you for finishing first place as the cow in Mario Kart World. That'll be on you to celebrate when the Switch 2 releases in June. And so, ladies and I seen some Mario Kart World achievements too. They're in-game though. I agree. That's stupid. Yeah. So there's only going to be in-game achievements. Nothing on the system-wide level. It is what it is. There's nothing else to say about it. We've beaten that horse to death. Who knows? Maybe sometime during the lifespan of this console, Nintendo has a major system update, and achievements, system level achievements is one of those updates. But if it's not at launch, I'm not holding my breath. It is what it is. All right. We have another one. Nintendo's of America's president, Doug Bowser. I finally get to use the Bowser gift. That's why we have Bowser here. Bowser, he's been interviewed. Before we talk about it, McShawn with the $5 super chat, and then Panthorius hits it with the back. We got back-to-back super chats. First, let me read McShawn's, and then we're going to read Panthorius. McShawn, hey, with people wanting to boycott the Switch 2, do you think the console will end up failing like they did with the Wii U? No way, Jose. Switch 2 gonna be fine. No. This ain't a Wii U situation. The Switch 2 is gonna be just fine. I think more people are upset with Mario Kart 8, the price of that one specific game, not the price of the actual console, because they understand that it's going to be more expensive. So first, let's type Miss Sean in the chat. Well, you guys are typing both Miss Sean and Penthorius. I see the chat going crazy, showing both my guys some love. And then let me read Penthorius's comment. True gamers don't need trophies. They just need to have fun and make new friends. That's a real gamer. I feel you, Penthorius. I feel you, but I still want achievements. Hey, but let's type Miss Sean and now achievements was never going to be a deal breaker. Let's get that clear. But I think it was. I want my video game history recorded, especially on my favorite platform, a Nintendo platform. So we'll still just have to rely on our end of the year Nintendo, and they do that end of the year stuff, and hopefully it's even in more detail, the end of the year, your profile stuff. And I think they take it down after a while. They should keep that up all year long, where you can just look at your gaming over the year. All right. So MG Plays, type Penthorius. MG Plays Penthorius. Dion, Evil Holders. Everybody just typing Penthorius, Bowsette, Penthorius, Anthony. Penthorius and Michonne is being spammed in the chat. Appreciate both you guys with the $5 super chats. Appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. I really, really do. It means a lot. Really means a lot. All right. Nintendo of America President Doug Bowser. He was recently interviewed. In fact, have the content all. Oh yeah, this is breaking news. I think I saw that somewhere. I think I saw that the Red Kart Switch upgrade games will in fact have the content already on the cart. What about, so what's this thing with the key card? What's going on with the key cards? All right, we'll get to that because I am going to talk about the cartridge sizes. I think I have a news item talking about that. But that is interesting, Bowsette. All right. Nintendo of America's president, Doug Bowser. This is his direct quote. Any previous tariffs were not factored into the $450 price itself. There's currently no new pre-order date, and whether the price of the console will be changed is unclear. We don't know what the price of this system is going to be after the dust settles with this whole tariff negotiation situation. So things are looking promising. It seems like it's going to be a 0% tariff on Vietnam. The last thing that I read, checked, was given to me. Hopefully that's the case. And worst case scenario, the price stays the same. Better case scenario, no, the worst case scenario is the price goes up. Hopefully it either stays the same or even decreases. If Nintendo can figure out to get this console to $400, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. So, the tariff situation still has not been clarified by Nintendo. And we talked about that already. Now, tying this into Bowsette, what Bowsette just posted, and I'm going to check that status out. Open a new tab. It's being reported, this is coming from mynintendonews.com. CD Projekt Red confirms 64 gigabytes is the max Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge capacity. Nintendo, as of right now, the max cartridge capacity is 64 gigabytes. I did share with you all the current cartridge sizes of some of the games that have been announced. Mario Kart, I think, was like 24 gigabytes. So those Nintendo first-party games look like they're all going to be within that 64 gigabytes. I'm thinking of games like Call of Duty, bro. Call of Duty be pushing it, bro. If they can get their games under 64, it looks like 64 gigabytes is going to be the max. If a third-party developer or even first-party has their games going beyond 64 gigabytes, you'll probably just have to download the rest of the game when you get home, which that did happen on the Switch, where some cartridges were like 16 or 24 or 32 gigabytes, and you had to actually download the rest of the game once you got home. All right. This is coming from Nintendo Prime's Twitter. I ran a story about seeing a free email to confirm about Switch 2 Edition games not having extra content on the cartridge. You got duped. He sent a single email and got confirmation. This is what Nintendo wrote. Thank you for contacting my Nintendo store. Regarding your query, if you purchase a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of a game or on physical format, you will receive one cartridge with the upgrade already in it. However, if you already had the game for Switch 1 and only were to purchase the expansion update, you would then receive a digital download code regardless if you have it on digital or physical. I sort of knew that. I sort of was expecting that. So, if you purchase it, let's say I get Metroid Prime Switch 2 edition. I think the controversy and the confusion was, even if you buy the Switch 2 edition, when you get home, you just have the Switch 1 edition and you have to download the Switch 2 edition. According to this, that's not the case. The Switch 2 edition will be ready to play on the cartridge, which is great news. And I'm all physical, so I'm good. I'm good, bro. I'm good on that. All right. Those are the news items for today, bro. Those are news items that I have for today. And as we speak, you all digitally, you mean? Yeah. I'm all my games are digital. I'm going all digital this generation. Hopefully for us digital guys, Nintendo does midnight releases for those third-party games. I'm talking about 2K. Because on all the other platforms, midnight 2K releases. For some reason, Nintendo does it at 11 a.m. the next day, which is lame. All right. That's it for today. What do you guys think about everything we talked about? Sound off in the comment section below. I want to know. But before you go, bro, click that subscribe button. Stay up to date. All things Nintendo. We out. Peace. Shout out to everybody who donated today. Panthorius, Michonne, Murr, Lake Show, ASAP, Lake Show, Panthorius again, ASAP again, Panthorius, Mahomes, Panthorius again. Appreciate you guys for the supporting the content. Really do. We out. Peace. Outro.
Oh, we almost have him! Reggie Fils-Aimé!
Obi-Wan plays.
Yes, right. What's up? All right.
Obi-Wan plays.